4 F-22 Raptors flew through the sky at 30,000 feet and locked upon a single civilian plane like wolves around a deer. Unknown planes. You are in a restricted area of airspace. Come down right away, or we will attack. Be quiet, then a woman's voice, calm, sure, and surgical, comes through the radio. She doesn't ask for things. She doesn't say anything. She only gives coordinates, talks about strange flight rules, and closes with a name. One name. The lead pilot stares at his HUD, his hands stuck in the middle of a command. That name shouldn't have existed. Copy that, lightning lead. We are currently flying off course around the cell at a bearing of 270 degrees. We will be back on our filed flight plan in about 12 minutes. There is no fear or hesitancy in her voice. Only the kind of confidence that comes from spending thousands of hours in unpredictable skies. The response makes the fighter pilots react in some way. The frequency is full with wingman Morrison's laughing.
This isn't your Sunday flying club, lady. You're in the big leagues now. His laughter gets louder. The pack mentality is setting in at 30,000 feet.
Thompson's voice comes back, dripping with disdain. I need you to do what I say right away, ma'am. You have 1 minute until we have to take you to the nearest military base. The King Air stays on course, as stable as rock. Then her voice slices through, their teasing like a knife through silk. Major Thompson, badge number 4721. Before you threaten Ghost Rider, I think you should talk to NORAD. The frequency stops working. Not even static dares to interrupt the quiet that comes after. What would you do if trained military pilots made fun of you in the air? Would you tell them who you really are? Or stay quiet? Please tell us where you're watching from. Sarah Mitchell packs medical supplies into her King Air at a small Kansas airfield earlier that morning. She moved quickly, but not too quickly. She has blonde hair that she wears in a simple ponytail and clothes that are more useful than fashionable. Her hands are old and worn, and they don't have any jewelry on them. Without makeup, the lines that years of sun and wind have left on her face are less noticeable. Other pilots at the airport hardly notice she's there. She blends in with the rest of the scenery, just like the fuel trucks and worn-out hangars. One pilot tells a student as they walk by, "That's just Sarah, flights of goods, principally medical supplies." They don't see her stop while they talk, and they don't see how her eyes get a little tighter. She goes back to her pre-flight check and looks at every rivet and seam with the care of someone who knows that small things can save lives. The weather report says that storms are forming along her route to Montana, but she's dealt with worse before. A second pilot, who is older and has gray hair, watches her from across the tarmac. He walks up gently, holding a cup of coffee. He says softly, "Sarah Mitchell. I thought that was you." A long time ago, we flew together. The Desert Shadow Operation. Sarah doesn't look up from her list. "You're wrong. Name that is common." Slowly, the veteran pilot nods. "I messed up. I just thought, well, you pre-flight, just like Ghost Rider used to, but she's been gone for 15 years now." "Ghost Rider?" Sarah's voice stays calm. The legendary person who could disappear from radar did the B-grade rescue. The aging pilot's eyes became sharper. "You know the tales." Sarah shrugged and tightened a strap on the cargo. "Everyone knows the tales. The first woman to fly missions that didn't exist," confirmed 147. "No failures. She lost her wingman to friendly fire, gave testimony against the brass, and then disappeared. Finally, she looks him in the eye. But only stories." The veteran pilot looks at her for a long time. "Jaime Rodriguez was a nice guy. Heard his daughter's learning to fly now." Something flashes across Sarah's face before the mask comes back. That's good for her. There aren't enough pilots in the world. She gets into her cockpit, which ends the conversation. The old pilot watches her taxi away, sure of what he saw but smart enough to keep it to himself. The storm system is getting stronger faster than expected. Cumulus clouds that seem like fingers stretching up to the stratosphere. Sarah changes her path, and her hands move automatically as her eyes look at both the instruments and the sky. Before she can see them, the F-22s show up on her radar. 4 signatures moving in a tactical line. She sees the pattern right away. New NORAD rules mean more training airspace. Protocols she helped write a long time ago. The Lightning flight. Major Thompson's squadron is made up of the newest generation of jet pilots, hot shooters who just finished advanced training and are anxious to show that they are worthy of flying America's most advanced air supremacy planes. They see a civilian plane in their training area as a chance to practice intercepting a real target. Sarah watches them get closer, seeing how aggressive their angles are and how fast they're going. Like if the sky is their own playground. Beechcraft, Charlie Mike, November 4:57. Tell me what you want. Thompson's voice has the kind of power that comes from never having to deal with real opposition. Sarah responds with textbook accuracy, pointing out her flight plan and the weather. Change. Any professional pilot should be happy with the information, but she already knows it won't. These lads want to play, and they discovered their toy. Ma'am, do you even have an instrument rating? Thompson asks, as his wingman laugh on the radio. The lead Raptor flies just by her nose, so close that the wake turbulence smacks her plane like an invisible fist. A less skilled pilot would have lost control. Without thinking about it, Sarah's hands move to change the trim and power so she can ride through the interruption like a surfer on a wave. Morrison joins the game, and his Raptor slides into place next to her left wing. Hey, Tom, do you think? She knows what she's looking at, probably believes we're planes. More laughter fills the air, but Sarah's eyes are focused on something that isn't even there. The storm cells are coming together, making rotation patterns that will be bad news. For anyone who isn't paying attention, lightning flying suggests checking the weather right away. Cells are growing quicker than expected. Her voice stays calm and pleasant, like someone giving polite counsel. Morrison's answer is full of sarcasm. Thanks for the advice, Grandma. You should probably stick to your crochet patterns and let us fly. The other pilots chuckle, but Sarah's trained eye notices what they're missing. There are clear signals that a microburst is building right where they want to start their patrol. Routine again. She can see the scene in her head with terrible clarity. These arrogant youngsters will fly straight into a wall of air that is coming down in 30 seconds or less. This will crash them toward Earth quicker than their systems can keep up. She can. Picture Jaime's face, and hear his voice from 15 years ago. Sarah, the IFFF isn't working right. Those birds aren't enemies. That's where the memory stops out, like it always does in fire and static. She grips the yoke tightly as she makes a decision. That has been 15 years in the making. Flight of lightning. Get up to 40,000 feet right away. Microburst is forming at 12 o'clock. 20 seconds until impact. Her voice changes, and it has a commanding tone that makes radio operators in 3 states sit up straighter. Thompson starts to make fun of her more, but she stops him. Lieutenant Colonel Mitchell, this is Major. The authentication code is Tango Ghost 77. You have 15 seconds to ascend, or you'll die. The frequency is full with misunderstanding. Nora Worker questions her.
That code format is no longer in use.
Ma'am. Sarah's voice becomes hard as steel. Test me. Sierra 19er is the authentication protocol. And while you're wasting time, 4 pilots are ready to die. The hush lasts as long as a held breath while computers work, databases search, and alarms start to go off in a secret building. Have you ever seen someone completely misjudge someone else? Please tell us your story in the comments below. A senior controller in NORAD's control room can't believe what he sees on his screen. You need to see this, sir. The study of the biometric voice print just came back. His boss leans over, looks at the data, and turns white. Try it again. The computer gives the same answer. Ghostwriter authentication was successful. Oh my God, it's actually her. Morrison's voice is like a teen's. The ghostwriter? The real ghostwriter? Even as things start to go wrong, Thompson strives. To keep things in order? That's not possible. That secret event in Syria killed Ghostwriter. Sarah doesn't let their doubt get in the way. She was right about how the microburst would form. An invisible hammer is going to hit from above. Lightning 2. Take a rest right now. Lightning 3. Then down, then up. Lightning 4. Follow my lead. Her voice has the same calm authority. That used to help damaged planes get through unthinkable situations. Major Thompson, in 5 seconds, you're going to lose all lift. Believe me, or perish. When the microburst impacted, the F-22's warning system went off. Thompson fights with, His controls as his plane suddenly becomes weightless and falls like a stone from the sky. I can't get well. For the first time, panic creeps into his voice. Sarah answers right away. Don't fight her. Put your nose down. Change altitude for speed of air. At least 300 knots. She leads each pilot through the pandemonium with the skill of a surgeon, Morrison. Just modest inputs. The young pilot's breathing is short and quick, but he does what she says. His Raptor's slowly waking up. Lightning 3, you're good to go? Keep heading 270. She takes them through how to stay alive one by one. How do you know about our systems? Thompson is able to ask as his plane eventually settles down. Sarah's answer is really straightforward. Major, I flew the prototypes. Look at your wingman. The news hits like another blow. Word spreads and radio traffic goes crazy on military frequencies. Ghost Riders are on the move. Confirm that you saw Ghost Rider. Sarah doesn't pay attention to any of it. She's only worried about getting 4 young pilots home tonight. Thompson's voice comes back, but it's different. Colonel Mitchell. I'm sorry, ma'am. The words hang in the air, but they're not adequate for what's occurring inside him. His mask of dominance has been cracking like ice in the spring sun for 8 years. He thinks about every pilot he's killed, every civilian he's killed, and every time he's confused rank with wisdom. His hands shake a little on the controls, not because he almost died, but because he knows what he's doing. It's just Sarah now, Major. Check your fuel level. She speaks in a professional, almost kind way. Morrison can't help it. My father flew with you in Afghanistan, ma'am. He said you saved his whole squadron. Sarah's answer is still short. I remember Jimmy. Great pilot. Thompson makes a choice. Please let me take you to your destination. She let out a sigh. Major, that's not essential. What kind of things? With all due respect, ma'am. Yes, it is. Thompson's voice has a different sound. Respect that was gained the hard way. But more than that, it sounds like a man reconstructing himself right now. Thompson looks at her plane in a different way as the 4 Raptors move into escort formation. The way it travels through the air smoothly and efficiently, no showing off or wasting time. He knows he's been flying angrily for years, battling the sky instead of working with it, and using his plane as a weapon against his own fears. They fly in formation amid the storm that is fading away. After a few minutes, Thompson asks, Why? Did you really leave? Sarah thinks about what she says carefully. Do you see that break in the clouds, Major? Says he can see it. That's what kept you safe today. Nature was kind to you. I fled since I forgot that lesson before. Someone died because I assumed that competence could beat hubris. Thompson takes this in, feeling the last bits of the neatly built identity he had built up fall apart. 8 years of being the greatest, the fastest, and the most aggressive. 8 years of mixing up terror with respect and domination with leadership. He thinks about the praise on his apartment walls. The postings he makes on social media about being elite and how he has assessed his worth by how much he scares other people. A woman on a cargo plane saved his life without having to prove anything, and now it all feels empty. How do we pick up that language? Morrison wants to know. Sarah looks down at the ground below. My granddad used to dust crops. The military will teach you how to fight the sky, but first you need to learn how to dance with it. It took me 20 years to comprehend. Thompson sees things he missed previously. The way she expects turbulence, the way she scans everything without thinking about it first. Real pilots don't dominate the sky. They work with it. You can see the Montana airfield on the horizon. The F-22s ask for permission to fly over and give a conventional military salute. Sarah's answer is firm, but nice. No lightning flight. There is no need for a parade for medicine. Thompson knows things on a level that surprises him. The gesture would be for them, not her. Another show, another performance. He's done with the shows. Got it. Lightning flight is back on the signed patrol path. He says, thank you. We won't forget this lesson before breaking formation. She clicks her microphone twice to show that she understands. The warriors pull away, and Thompson feels something change in his chest. He takes his hand off the throttle and looks at it. Looks at it closely. The same hand that pushed planes to their limits to prove something that didn't need to be proven. That hand will fly differently tomorrow. You'll quit performing and start flying tomorrow. Sarah lands with the same calm skill she's demonstrated all day. Right away, she started to unload her stuff. Media vans are already here. Someone let that meeting slip out. She completely ignores them and focuses on getting medical supplies to the clinic workers who are waiting. A young woman with a flight school jacket walks up slowly. "Are you really Ghost Rider?" she asks in a voice that is barely above a whisper. Sarah gives her a box of goods without stopping. "I fly a plane and deliver medicine." The girl takes the box without thinking. They work together in quiet, with the young woman keeping up with Sarah's quick pace. Finally, she points to the sky, where the contrails show where the fighter left. They were F-22s. Sarah gets another box. They learned something new today. The sky treats everyone the same. The student pilot takes this in and helps load the last containers. The girl says softly, "I've been having trouble with my training. My teacher believes I'm too careful." Sarah stops and looks at the young woman for the first time.
What is your
"Name." "Emma. Rodriguez Emma." The name hits Sarah like a punch in the gut. She doesn't show any emotion on her face. "Rodriguez, your father wouldn't be." Emma agrees. "Lieutenant Jamie Rodriguez. He passed away when I was 3. Accident during training." Sarah cautiously closes the cargo door to give herself time to calm down. Finally, Sarah remarks, "Your father was the best wingman I ever flew with." Emma's breath stops. "Did you know?" "Him," Sarah nods, seeing Jaime's eyes on her daughter's face. "Could you please teach me just one thing?" Sarah stares at her heir to the throne and then at the young woman who wants to marry him. The news crews are drawing closer. She makes a choice. "That seems like fate," finishing a circle. Sarah says, "Get in," and climbs back into the pilot's seat. Emma rushes to the co-pilot's seat. Sarah starts the process of starting up. Forget about being sure of yourself. The sky cares about how much you pay attention. The reporters' protests are drowned out by the sound of the engine. Sarah drives by them without looking. They get to the runway. "Put your hands on the controls. Touch the plane. She is your partner." Emma's hands rest on the yoke. "Shut your eyes. Feel the vibrations." Emma shuts her eyes, and her expression changes as she stops thinking and starts to feel. Sarah watches as Jaime's innate gift blooms in his daughter. "Now you can open them. We're all going to leave together." The plane takes off without a hitch. Emma's inputs are minimal but sure. They go up into the sky over Montana. "Look at those clouds getting bigger to the west," Sarah points. Emma looks at them. They are slowly turning, but the base is certainly turning. Sarah nods in agreement. "Your dad could see that from 50 meters away. It's in your genes." They fly for 20 minutes, Sarah teaches by showing and gently correcting. As they get closer, Sarah lets Emma take over more of the controls. "You're fighting her," Sarah says after Emma makes a small mistake. "Keep in mind that you want to negotiate, not rule." Emma lets off of the plane's controls, and it reacts right away. That's it. Dance with her. Emma is in charge of the landing, although Sarah's hands are close to the controls, but never touch them. The wheels touch the runway with a soft kiss. Emma's face shines with pride and comprehension. Sarah talks quietly as they taxi back. "No one else knows what I'm going to tell you, Emma. Your father saw friendly planes that day that had broken IFFF transponders. He told our flight to be careful, saved 3 pilots, but put himself between them and us. The brass said it was an accident. But you should know that your father died a hero." Okay, Emma takes in this news, and her jaw sets with determination. "We going to see each other again?" Sarah thinks on the question. "Every Tuesday morning, I fly supplies to clinics that make reservations. Come here at daybreak." Emma nods, knowing what the gift is. "What kind of legacy do you wish to leave behind?" Leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to get more amazing, genuine stories. Sarah observes Emma pause to help an old pilot who is having trouble with his luggage as she walks away. No second thoughts. No need for praise. She goes back to her truck, disregarding the reporters who are still trying to get her attention. Major Thompson is sitting in his quarters miles away, but he's not looking at the empty space where his Top Gun patch used to be. He is writing in a notebook he hasn't used since flight school, attempting to remember what occurred to him at 30,000 feet. Not the microburst, not the near-death experience, But the moment a woman's calm voice showed him who he really was instead of who he had been trying to be. He talks on the difference between demanding respect and earning it, between being confident and being arrogant, and between flying and battling. At first, his handwriting is wobbly, but it gets steadier as truth takes the place of performance. He chooses to go to a little civilian airfield tomorrow that he's driven past 100 times. He'll ask someone to teach him about crop dusting tomorrow. Sarah drives through the Montana evening with the windows down and listens to weather updates on AM radio. But her thoughts is on Emma Rodriguez and the promise of Tuesday mornings spent passing on knowledge that can't be taught in school. She thinks of Jaime and the debts that can never be paid back, but maybe his daughter can honor them. Sarah's phone rings and she doesn't answer or read the messages. Let other people narrate the narrative, add to it, and make it bigger than life. She knows the truth is both simple and deep.
Out.
She gave out medicine today.
Out.
Today she saved 4 pilots who were about to die because they were too proud. She located Jaime's kid today and started to pay back a debt that was 15 years ago. Tomorrow, she'll do it again, teaching anyone who wants to learn that greatness isn't about medals, but about the times when you choose knowledge over ego. And now, every Tuesday at daybreak, she will assist Emma Rodriguez become the pilot her father would have been proud of. Sky never forgets its children. Sometimes, if you're very lucky, it provides you an opportunity to fix things.